this video right here recently showed up on my page. It's got 18,000 views. It was posted 14 hours ago by Anthony Brian Logan. I don't follow him, I don't know him, but I want to look at it and I want to do a reaction video on this video because, oh, let's talk about it.
Y'all downloading this brand new app called Red Note to replace TikTok in case it gets banned on January 19th.
So just to reiterate here, this might be a new app for Americans or for many Americans. It's not a new app for me. I've been on this for years, and this is not a new app for a lot of people. This is actually one of the most popular apps in China, which China has a lot of people. So it's not a new app. It's new to you because you're not in China, but it is not a new app.
However, you might want to know a little bit more about this app. Let's talk about it.
Yes, please, let's talk about it.
My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the wave of Americans downloading a very Chinese app called Red Note from the App Store, making it the #1 overall downloaded app over the past few days, I suppose. There's a lot we got to say. First of all, the name, you know it by Red Note. That's the American name, the American nickname. That's not the actual name of this app, you see. It's actually called Zhonghao.
Okay. That is not what it's called. And my tones might be off a little bit, but it's actually Xiaohongshu. Xiaohongshu is literally stands for little Xiao, Hong, red, book, shu. I don't know why we're calling it Red Note. I think that's a very Americanized name for it now. It's always been called Red in the Google Play App Store, Xiaohongshu in the Apple Play Store, and people would call it Red Book or Little Red Book. I've never heard it called Red Note, so I am also a little annoyed by this because I have to change what I call something. It's kind of like when Twitter was suddenly called X. It's like, I don't want to do that. Okay, but let's listen.
Zhonghao. And I know, hey, I'm not a Chinese speaker. I probably didn't pronounce that correctly.
Is it kind of funny that I'm doing a reaction video on his reaction to another video? We're like overlayered on like 3 videos. So if anybody wants to react to my video, and we'll just keep this going, and I'll tag or I'll post his video link in the comment section as well if you want to go and see the whole video, because I will not post the entire video here.
There's an app that our audience should know now. It's called Red Note, and as of this morning, it is still #1 on Apple's App Store, highlighting really this classic lawmaker dilemma.
Let's pause. Now, you see 2 apps they highlighted. That's pretty interesting. The first is Zhonghao, also known as Red Note. And the second is Lemonade. Now, Lemonade is ByteDance. ByteDance also owns TikTok. On TikTok right now, they're promoting Lemonade. So if they're to ban TikTok, are they going to ban Lemonade as well? I doubt it, because we've not banned ByteDance. We're just trying to ban TikTok. But Lemonade ain't nothing but TikTok part 2.
So from my understanding, and I haven't gotten into this a lot of like really super politically, I guess, but from my understanding, they're looking to ban TikTok, or like all of ByteDance's American versions of their apps. So TikTok, Lemonade, and CapCut, which is also owned by ByteDance. So if Congress does ban TikTok, I do believe that they're looking to ban Lemonade as well. I don't use TikTok, so this is the first time that I've heard, well, I just heard about Lemonade like a couple of days ago when I went on my TikTok and saw that that was a thing. But yeah, I've never heard of Lemonade before. I actually use Xiaohongshu more than I use TikTok.
Zhonghao is what many think is TikTok part 2. So many people, so many Americans are hooked on TikTok. They know it's Chinese, so any kind of Chinese app that seems kind of popping, they want to hop right on it without really knowing what they're getting themselves into.
I do want to take a note here. So I was a little bit confused. Like, why are people going over there? The app's in Chinese. People speak Chinese over there. Yes, there are a lot of English speakers, but I was really confused. And then I asked about it on my TikTok, like, why is this happening? And I did get a lot of responses on this. It's not that they're like, oh, we love Chinese made apps, let's go get a Chinese app. It's because they are rebelling against freedom of speech, or the freedom of speech that is being violated in their opinion. So that's why they're going over there. Like, hey, America, you don't want us to be on TikTok because it's Chinese zone? Watch this. So it's not that they're like, ooh, a Chinese app. They're looking for something that is similar to TikTok.
As lawmakers are looking to regulate or ban what they see as the current threat, users have already moved on. And in this case, they moved on to an app far more Chinese than TikTok. It's known to Americans as Red Note, but its Chinese name, Xiaohongshu, literally translates into Little Red Book, as in Mao Zedong's Guide to Communist Ideology.
They're telling you from the name, like, this is Mao Zedong's Little Red Book. They call it Red Note. Oh, it sounds cute. It sounds nice. But this is literally the Chinese Communist Party's propaganda. So if you don't mind getting propaganda straight from the CCP drilled right into your brain.
We have had anti-Chinese propaganda in the United States about the Chinese eating dogs and cats, about the Chinese people hating Americans, about a lot of things. And it's just not true. And I've known this because I've been working with Chinese clients for years now. We had it back in 2019 when all of that went down. And it wasn't true. I was like screaming because I'm like, okay, I work with these people every day. And what you were saying is not true. Okay, so we have our own propaganda in America. Let's not pretend that we don't, first of all. Second of all, what is this? What is this Chinese propaganda that you speak of? Have you read it? Do you know anything that it says? Because I don't, so I can't make a judgment on that. I haven't read it, nor have I read the translation from it. So no idea. I cannot make an assumption just based on what somebody is saying about it, which is what you're doing. Like, do a little bit of research in there before you talk down on something. I don't know if that's what it was named after, but you're not going to find a lot of propaganda on it. You're going to see a lot of the same stuff that you see on TikTok. People dancing, a lot of American videos actually with subtitles on them. It is a lifestyle app. Politics is generally not something that is spoken on there, aside from lots of impersonations of Trump, which are hilarious. If you go on there, they are really funny. It started as an app for women to share like makeup and clothing, and it's a shopping app. People go on there to shop, kind of like people go on to TikTok shop. So I would not say it has, I mean, I think everything has a political agenda, but I don't think this has any more of a political agenda than any of our social media apps. And we have seen political agendas on Facebook, for example. So do what you will.
And revolutionary principles, a symbol of Chinese communist propaganda. This is the app. Open it up and it looks like Instagram meets TikTok meets Reddit, but with a lot more Chinese language content, and very welcoming, by the way, to American users. Here's a scroll through Tech Check producer Jasmine's Red Note feed this morning.
Hi, TikTok refugee. First of all, I want to say welcome to Xiaohongshu, welcome to Red Book.
Why were you shaking your head? Like, oh, how dare they be welcoming to Americans? Why? Just because you wouldn't be? The Chinese people are just so nice. And you don't have as much hatred on this app as you do on other apps. Like, people are supportive of one another and just generally nice people. By the way, I want to also say that first girl that he showed, she showed up on my Discover page too. So she must be super viral with that video.
TikTok refugees. And another one, an American TikTok refugee posted a guide to using Redbook and says the Chinese people on this app, they don't want us to talk about politics because they're not allowed to talk about politics.
Yeah, they're not allowed to talk about politics. Yeah, because we're talking about Chinese Communist Party. Like the things that we could do over here in America.
They talk about our politics a lot. When the election was going on, that was a very hot topic, and my entire Explore page was filled with talking about our politics, and as well as my groups, everybody wanted to talk about politics. So they definitely do talk about politics. Maybe not so much their own, but they talk about other countries.
To a certain extent, even on social media, because of who's in power. But certain things we could do over here, like let's say on the Twitter, y'all cannot do on these Chinese apps. And by the way, speaking about TikTok possibly being banned.
Okay, yes, they have censorship. as Americans, we have censorship too. How many people have gone on Facebook and wrote the word man backwards? How many people do a YouTube video and make sure that they say certain words, they bleep out certain words, or they say different phrases for certain words? How many times have you heard an American say he was unalived instead of the other word? Because we have censorship as well. And if you think that we don't, I really highly encourage you to reevaluate, the propaganda that you have been indoctrinated by, because we do. We 100% do.
Do you know that TikTok is banned in China? Yes, it is. TikTok is a Western thing. Now, there is another version of TikTok in China called Douyin, but Douyin is not TikTok. You're not going to see the ridiculous content on Douyin that we see on TikTok.
Okay. No. Yes and no. So Douyin is TikTok. It's just the Chinese version. They're actually owned by the same company. It's the same thing. And you do see a lot of the same ridiculous stuff. Just wait. You guys wait. Once your algorithms settle down and you stop seeing other American users, and if you can get into the algorithm where you see things that aren't Americans and things that aren't Chinese saying, like, welcome refugees. If you see the stuff that you saw before, you would see that there's a lot of nonsense on there. Some of the funniest things that I have found on Xiaohongshu. And I love the app, I really do. But you can't say that you're not going to see ridiculous things. I'm not sure what he thinks is on there. Does he think that it's like trying to push a political agenda when you can't talk politics? I'm curious. Okay.
Just for a little bit of context.
Now, in other words, as a Chinese app, it is heavily censored. TikTok, at least, was the American version of a Chinese app with more American rules. Red Note had few international users until about a few months ago. According to PitchBook, it was last valued at $17 billion and backed by Chinese internet giants Alibaba and Tencent, as well as Silicon Valley VCs, DST, and Notable Capital, which was spun out of GGV amid growing U.S.-China tensions.
Wait a minute. So Red Note is backed by Alibaba and Tencent. Oh my God. Now let's go back to TikTok. TikTok is owned by ByteDance. So is Lemonade. Lemonade, TikTok, same thing. Now this whole thing, Xiaohongshu, is backed by Tencent. I think Tencent, ByteDance, these are the biggest companies in China. And y'all please correct me if I'm wrong, but in Tencent, ByteDance, it might be kind of together in cahoots. Y'all let me know. But these are really big companies in China. Think about, like, okay, what's an American big company?
Meta. You want to give an example? You can give the example of Meta.
Okay, now there's a lot I want to say. There's a whole lot I want to say. The reason, let me just get down to the meat and potatoes of why the U.S. is trying to ban TikTok and why they're trying to ban Chinese apps in general. Is because in the case of TikTok, the problem is there are so many Americans on this app that's ultimately controlled by the Chinese. What'll happen is in a time of conflict, pre-conflict, Cold War, all they got to do is push a button and flood millions of Americans with propaganda. Okay, the ice bucket challenge, the jump from a crate challenge, the jump from a boat challenge, the jump from a car challenge. All they got to do is push the button and just incentivize a lot of silly videos about one trend or one particular political ideology. All they got to do is push the button, and now you got a problem in the country. You can even spark a civil war using social media. So that's the whole thing.
This is true. However, let's look at it from the other side of things. We have had people like yourself, Logan, or whatever your name is. We have had people very much like yourself with your viewpoints that are anti-Chinese, that have put out your own propaganda, much like what you're doing right now, that is anti-Chinese propaganda. That's what this video is to me. This video is anti-Chinese propaganda. And I see the books behind you. I see the flags behind you. I see your USA hat. That's all great and everything. I'm also American. I'm also a veteran. I'm assuming you're a veteran. Maybe I'm wrong. That's kind of the vibe that I get from you. But that doesn't mean that we have to hate another country. And I think that this can be a really good thing. Maybe this could be like the start of America and China becoming friends. That would be amazing, right? That would be amazing. Instead of an enemy, maybe the people of the countries join together and they become friends, and maybe we have less conflict. Whatever the outcome is, this is a historical moment in time. Like, honestly, like, this is going to go down in the history books. So it is really interesting to see what's going to happen. I have my belief that it's more of a peacemaking thing than anything. The citizens of both countries being friends could make the countries more pleasant towards one another. But I don't know. I guess keep believing what you believe, because there's nothing to say that I'm right and you're wrong, or vice versa.
And they're playing a long game. I don't need to do it right now. Hey, you can have fun on TikTok. You can make money on TikTok. You can. Also,
I do want to make a note here that in the past, China hasn't really loved having a ton of Western influence. On Douyin, for example, which is TikTok in China, they actually stopped allowing Americans on there about 2 years ago. I had an account on there, and about 2 years ago, I went to log into my account, or I went to open the app, and my account was gone. And I messaged support, and they said, hey, we had to close all of the foreign accounts. We're no longer allowing foreign accounts. So you have to have a Chinese phone number, register with your Chinese phone number. I'm kind of afraid that that's going to happen with Red, and I don't want that to happen, because I do like the app and I use it. I use it for my business. I use it for personal connections with my friends that are in China. But, and I use it for entertainment because it is really funny. There's a lot of stuff on there that I love. But, I mean, it is possible that the Chinese government might be sitting in the same shoes that you are, just in a different country. But I really love that the people are coming together. I want to take, for example, one of the things that has been a huge trend is, hey, welcome to Xiaohongshu. Your tax to enter must be cat photos. Show us your cat photos. So now people, like, this makes me so happy, because for the longest time, people have been like, what, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, right? Like, oh, your cat's missing, go to the Chinese restaurant. And they say all these really racist, really mean things. That's not true. The people of China generally do not eat dogs, and they do not eat cats, and they have dogs and cats as pets. And for the majority of the Chinese, eating dogs or eating cats is really frowned on, just like we do. So now people are equating cats now with, instead of equating it with a food in China, they're thinking about it as if it's a cute little, like, share pictures of cats and cat memes. And that right there makes me happy, because you guys are starting to finally see what China is about, like some of the things about the Chinese people that you didn't know before.
They will get flooded with a bunch of propaganda. They'll get it a little bit on TikTok, a little bit. But on Zhonghao on there, oh man, it literally says Mao Zedong's Red Book, Guide to Communism. It says it right there in the name.
It doesn't say Guide to Communism in the name. And even if it did, like, what do you know about communism that you are so against? Because it's different than us? I mean, I'm not saying I'm for it. I'm not saying I'm against it. But I feel like people look at it like, our government, good, communism, bad. And maybe we need to open our minds just a little bit and think that, you know, they can do things in their government the way that they want to if they're happy and it works for them.
And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about this brand new app, Zhonghao Shu?
I want to get you into a Chinese lesson. Can we do that? Can we get you into a Chinese lesson? Let's teach you some Chinese.
Red Book from Mao Zedong. That's going to be your social media app in Chinese language. And it's straight up. It's not like an Americanized version of a Chinese app. It's straight up Chinese. Is that what you want to use? Is that going to be a good time? Do you fear your data is being tracked by the Chinese Communist Party? Do you feel like there can be propaganda pushed upon you that way. Whatever your thoughts are.
Wasn't our data being tracked by social media apps in America and being sold to different countries? Was that a thing, or am I remembering this wrong? Like, we can't even trust our own country, right? Like, I'm not trying to like call for like any unrest or anything, but wasn't that a thing too?
We see what they feed us. We see what they feed us on television. And we're supposed to be the good guys. Now, what about over there in the place where they openly communist? Don't even try to hide it. We try to have elements of that over here.
Again, we supposed to be the good guys. Why? What makes us the good people and them the bad people? Like that's a little biased. You're saying that sitting from there, but I mean, they may be sitting thinking we're the good guys, you're the bad guys. Why just because they're communists, because of their form of government? What do you know about communism? What is it that makes you think that communism is the same as evil? Like, really curious about that. Do we not have bad parts of our government?
A little bit of socialism, a little bit of communism. They're straight up communists. So what do you think they're going to serve you on those apps as an American? They take it as opportunity to brainwash you right quick to make you more sympathetic toward their cause. And apparently it's already done work, because people are leaving one Chinese app for another one. And they're so afraid they can't have the Chinese app. They're fleeing preemptively. And
it's not about the fact that they're afraid that they can't have a Chinese app. How many people joined TikTok and started businesses, and they started making money, and they started making money as creators? You're a creator, you know this. How would you feel if they say, we're going to ban YouTube? How much money do you make on YouTube? You've got over 1 million subscribers. How would you feel? This is your platform. That's their platform. How would you feel if the government said, you know what, we're going to get rid of YouTube, and all your accounts are going to be gone, and we're going to restrict it because we don't like this social media app? You would feel like your voice was stolen too. That's how they feel. And a lot of them have their livelihood on there. They have TikTok shops. They promote their businesses on there. They get paid creator funds. This isn't just I want my app and I want to look at my cat videos and my dancing videos. This has become a lot of people's livelihood. So maybe just have a little respect to the fact that this could be detrimental for a lot of people.
I think, as I close, that once the Orange Man gets back in town, he's expressed interest to save TikTok. So I think ultimately it won't get banned. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video.
Thanks for watching. Let me know what your opinion is in the comments below. I am really curious. Anthony, his name is Anthony. I don't know what I called him before. I think that his views are a little bit skewed. See this? He's got 1.07 million subscribers. This video itself was posted 15 hours ago and has almost 20,000 views. I think that it's really important to realize that there's more that goes into it than just this. And yeah, I already said my piece. So let me know in the comments what you think. And I did a video talking about this. If you want to see it on my other channel, you can check out this video over here. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. This is a channel that I don't talk about. I don't do much on, but I want to be over here more often. So make sure you subscribe. I'll see you over here in this video where I talk with my friend Katie about Xiaohongshu and the TikTok refugee thing.